Welcome back. We turn now to our in-house election experts as we try and make sense of the numbers. Thank goodness we've got Wayne Sussman in studio with us to do just that. Wayne, is it fair to say that we're looking at a lot of coalitions? It's the story of this election. And South Africans living under coalitions don't always enjoy the best of local government.
Correct. That's one of the paradoxes we find ourselves with, that most of South Africans who experienced coalition governments over the last 5 years didn't enjoy the best, the most stable of governments. I think of Nelson Mandela Bay, I think of Tshwane, I think of places like Rustenburg in the northwest. And despite that, we wake up today seeing that there are many councils across this whole country which are going to see coalition governments going forward. And will coalition governments be able to function more effectively in the next 5 years?
Let's take a closer look at Ekurhuleni. 72% of the vote has been counted there, and the ANC is leading by over 37%. What does that mean in terms of horse trading?
Well, that is well below, because we must always do comparisons with the previous figures. That's well below the 48-49% they got in 2016. So in 2016, when you're so close to the 50% mark, you can go to a party like the African Independent Congress, which won 4 seats, form a simple coalition with them, and have a pretty stable government. When you're sitting currently at 37% of the mark, you are going to need multiple coalition partners. And some of these might be special interest groups. They might want to do typical type, obscure type of deals, which will be very, very difficult for the ANC or the DA, who are the second biggest party right now. So it's very unclear what is going to happen in Ekurhuleni. We need to see how the rest of the seats come in, and what happens when the rest of the votes get counted. Very uncertain times for the East Rand.
I want to talk about the DA's campaign. It was a fairly negative one. If you look at the Phoenix situation, for instance, did they manage to take advantage of a wounded ANC, or do you think they missed the mark?
I think that the Democratic Alliance missed the mark. They started off their campaign with a very compelling offer about getting things done, running on their track record of service delivery, highlighting things such as the Auditor General's report. However, things came unstuck with them with the Phoenix poster campaign. Now, in politics, we have something called dog whistling, and that is when you target a very specific message at a certain community. And they were targeting a specific message at the Phoenix community. Now, the irony is that whilst that message with the posters played negatively nationally, it actually played very well for the party in Phoenix. The results we've seen thus far in Phoenix and Durban are good for the DA. However, because of social media, because of things going viral, those posters, which were very specifically targeted on the community of Phoenix, had nationally negative repercussions. And what we're seeing when we look at the results nationwide is that the DA are losing votes to parties like the Patriotic Alliance. They're losing votes to parties like the Freedom Front. They're losing votes to some regional or local parties, and they were hoping to bring all those voters back with them and perform as well as they did in 2016.
I like that point you made, because even though that they was very specifically contained and confined to Phoenix, I, in Cape Town, thought that I had seen them, but I probably didn't. I probably saw them on Twitter or somewhere else. So that is interesting. Let's just look at some of the numbers. You've been up in the numbers room. Any surprises that you've got before you that you can project for us?
So I just want to veer off the metros quickly. Fascinating result in the Rand West municipality in Randfontein on the West Rand. So it's quite a mouthful. The Rand West Municipality, Randfontein, West Rand. A lot of rands
well
there.
Done.
So there we see something quite historic. A ZAPO, a Black Consciousness Party, one of the parties which is heavily involved in the liberation of our country. They are probably going to be part of the next mayoral committee there, because the ANC have fallen below the 50% mark. So there are broader themes here. We're seeing that the ANC, in a municipality where they had a comfortable outright majority in 2016, falling below the 50% mark, and they now probably have to work with parties like ZAPO to continue governing there. And we're seeing all these strange results across the country. I was looking at Oudtshoorn in the Western Cape before now. There are so many small local parties who are going to determine whether the ANC or the DA governs there. So as the day unfolds, and it's going to be a long day and I'm looking forward to it, we're going to continue to unpack all of these interesting results. In the next few hours, we'll know much better how the metros are looking. We'll know much better how places like Rustenburg, a critical municipality in the northwest, how places like Sasolburg, that's Metsimaholo in the Free State, these are core industrial towns. What are the voters going to say there? And we're going to unpack those results here.
Have you seen anything come in from Mangaung?
So Mangaung right now, the ANC is hovering on that 50% mark. This is a municipality where they had a comfortable outright majority. Now, I'm very glad you asked that question, because we know that there was a shutdown process in Mangaung a few months ago, where the whole city was shut down for a number of days. However, there was no local grouping or prominent local grouping who decided to run on the dissatisfaction of the people in Mangaung. So what you see are a lack of credible alternative offerings to the ANC in that municipality. And despite the ANC's difficulty in running the city effectively, politically, they're still running that city well. And I want to differentiate that between ANC as a governing party sometimes and ANC as a political party. The ANC as a political party in Mangaung might have its challenges right now, but it's still strong enough to get over the line, and they might still win an outright majority in Mangaung, and we'll keep watching those numbers.
I'll let you go now, Wayne, but when you come back, can you take a look at Humansdorp for me? It's a story that has captivated me for several weeks ahead of the elections, and we can unpack why when we chat again, but I'd love to see the results that have come in from there. Thank you so much, elections analyst Wayne Sussman, for your time this morning. He's been up all night and had a very early start, and he's doing a great service for us. Thank you so much, Wayne.